Hello, everyone. It's Bradley Rosa with the Broward Bar Buzz. Today I have Joe and Dirk Stevens with us of Law Firm Sites. Law Firm Sites is a premier website development company that specializes in lawyers. Welcome, folks, back.
Thanks for having us
Thanks
back.
for having us. We're excited to be here.
Wonderful. We were just talking about the difference in weather, and I know that your son was enjoying snow already in Utah.
Feet, yeah, lots of snow already. So we'll be headed back to that in a couple days.
You're enjoying the warm weather here right now.
Yes, we are. In the 80s for the last few days. So we'll hopefully can take
no
some
complaints.
of that home.
No complaints.
So last time when you were here, I was really fascinated about the management of reputation and responding to these Google snipes that people hit you up with.
Yes.
And I thought it was really informative. And so kind of to continue that conversation, but going into how do you draw folks into your website and then make it something that will pay for you in the long run. So following that path, I wanted to get into the star rating. So what's the difference between a 4.9 rating compared to a 4.2 rating?
On Google, it's actually huge. So it's going to make the difference of who's going to outrank who. So let's say you're neck and neck with a competitor that's down the street or close to you. And if they have even, 0.1 of a higher star rating than you do, Google is going to put them above you. So whenever somebody is searching, if you're a personal injury or whatever the practice area is, that just even slight rating in your actual Google star reviews is going to make a massive difference in who gets listed first. So a lot of times we have attorneys come to us and, they have a 4.2 or a 4.3 rating, which is awesome. And people work really hard to get that. But it's crazy the difference in just a few reviews that can actually make for you showing up above a competitor. So making sure you have as close to 5.0 as possible is going to make or break whether you show up on the MapPack and your actual SEO rankings above your competitors.
Does Google take into account those snipey type of ratings that'll give you 0 stars or whatever from that person that was not satisfied with your service, even though you did everything you possibly could?
Absolutely. So Google is listening to the customer, the user, the end client. They're using that information to judge whether you have a credible firm, a credible business, and where to rank you. So they definitely take that into consideration. So having some sort of reputation management in place so you can your firm constantly be getting as many positive and 5-star reviews as possible should be extremely important for 2025.
What about people? I've always heard about people that create multiple Gmail accounts, Google accounts, and they give themselves ratings. He was great or she was great, and so that sort of thing. Is Google, are they aware of that kind of thing?
Of course. It's always funny to me when people think that they can kind of outsmart Google. It's Google. Google knows how to trace an IP address. So a lot of times they'll know if you're sitting at your home computer and you've created 5 or 6 or 7 different Gmail accounts and leaving reviews, for yourself or for somebody else, they'll be able to track that down eventually. You'll get dinged for that. They'll remove them. So it's never worth it. It's always better just to strive, as hard as you can just to get as many real Google reviews as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that just popped in my head because I've seen ratings like that and I'm like, it's got to be like the same person who's posting that stuff.
Yep. It comes back around. So it's, sometimes you get away with it. To me, it's just not worth the risk. If you get busted for doing it or with Google, you can get dinged. They can take you down. They can take your Google My Business profile down. It's just never worth it.
Okay. So talking about rankings, what about this MapPack thing that you talked to me about before? I have no clue what that is. Please explain.
Sure. So I don't know if you've ever searched, if you're looking for an attorney in your area or anything within your area, a hair salon. I don't know if you'll notice one of the first things that will come up, especially if it's within a location that you're looking for, it's called a MapPack, and it will show 3 to 4 actual businesses that are listed on within your area that relate to that. And that is called the MapPack. So it actually lists a firm name, their address, what their star rating is,
So you're talking about
and their
like
location.
that little thing on the left, and it has like ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
And if you
Yes.
click on number one, like it'll show on the map 1, 2, 3. that-
Exactly.
Okay.
That will come up before even the organic results. So it's really
the map
important.
pack.
That is the map pack. So
Okay.
it's really important that you're ranking really high in that. And the map pack, a lot of the times too, will get judged based on your reviews and how many 5-star reviews you have. So, you know, a lot, it has to do with SEO, but that is that really good, just kind of, if you're neck and neck with somebody, make sure that, you know, with a competitor, that you've got more 5-star reviews than they have, because then Google will put you as number 1 on that map pack. Number 2, you don't, you know, that way you're at least showing up on it. And if you are showing up, you can be top of the heap. It's really important.
So,
Yeah, it's interesting because so often when I'm looking for something just in general, not necessarily lawyer, but whatever, but it would relate to lawyers too. It'll ask you, you know, from this address or something like
Yes.
that. Google asks you.
Yes.
And almost every time you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
I need it near me. Yeah.
Near me. So that's crucial then
Yeah.
to really have yourself set up so you rank well on that. map
Absolutely.
pack.
Google prioritizes local SEO or local businesses over like statewide or
Yeah.
even nationwide type searches, you know, because we'll talk to people that are like, well, I can do business in the whole state of Florida. You know, I want to be found in the whole state of Florida. And it's like, okay, we can do that, but you've got to own your local.
Well, it's like,
first.
think about when you want to be the whole state of Florida, think about how many other people you're competing with in the whole state of Florida. Now, if you're just Fort Lauderdale, or we're just advertising or kind of pushing Fort Lauderdale, that window closes.
Right.
You don't have nearly as many competitors that you're fighting for to be seen. So that is something with attorneys and stuff too. We've been like, hey, you really do need to narrow in on your location that you're at first, and then kind of broaden out past that. So it's like, yes, you can be statewide, you can practice statewide, but for your content, for, you know, like your actual website and what you're trying to rank for, you need to hone in on the actual location of your office first. Get your foot in the door there with Google, and then kind of build past that. Add more cities, focus on content for more cities, you know, and work your way outward.
Focus on local.
Focus on local first. Yes.
Okay. So, Dirk, talk to us a little bit about this conversion funnel, because to me, websites are your first point of contact, right? As the regular person out there, this is not a lawyer referring to another lawyer. This is someone who's said, I need XYZ type of attorney near me. Boom, you pop up.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. It's this is once you've done that SEO or once you've done that marketing or once you've got that referral and somebody finds you and they find your website, it's, well, how do we take that person that's visiting my website and turn that into a phone call or a conversation, which would then turn into business, right? And with lawyers or legal websites, we generally follow what we call as a conversion funnel. A conversion is industry jargon for somebody visits my site and I convert them into business, right? So once somebody is on the site, the first thing that we want them to see is, what do you do? So is the visitor talking to the type of attorney that they want to talk to? What's my practice area, right? Like what do I do? The next section, as you kind of scroll down, would be, well, why should I care? So the visitor is, okay, this is the type of firm that I want to talk to. Why should I care is, why am I talking to this firm versus the guy down the street? So this is a great spot for you to talk about your firm, your experience, why you're better than the next.
Why
firm.
me?
Why you?
Yep.
You found a landlord attorney or a PI attorney or whatever. Why are you talking to me versus the next guy? The next section is, after those two, is how do I believe you? This is proof that you do what you say you're going to do, or proof that you are as good as you say you are. So this is a great spot for client referrals, testimonials, case results, basically proof that you are who you say you are.
Let your current clients sell you.
Exactly.
You
This
know,
is a
let
great,
your-
this is
your
a great
current clients
spot
sell
for
you.
that. So you're, am I in the right place? Am I talking to the right person? Am I talking to a good one? And then you end with, how do we get in contact, or let's talk? And we have found that once you've done the hard work of getting somebody to the site, this is the best way to get them actually on the phone. Or
Answering those questions
them in
one by one,
contact.
and then
Yep.
How do we get started?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you ever use the actual attorney in any way to sell himself or herself in that sense to show that kind of sincerity, that honesty? Or is
Yeah.
it better to just allow the
I think that
customer or the
that
past
would go more
clients?
to the how do I believe you? That's more where the attorney would be focused. Would you agree?
I would.
know?
I don't hate that idea,
Yeah.
but especially in nowadays where people aren't even sure if they're talking to a real person, right? There's a whole bunch of people that are just behind a keyboard, and you don't know if am I talking to a server farm or am I talking to a content hub or whatever. I think it's a great idea to have real photos. Real testimony, real content. And so I love having a lot of let the client sell you,
Right.
but then some real photos of here's who I am, here's
Yeah.
what I do. I'm a real
Videos,
person. I can talk to a real person on the phone.
Right.
I think that's a big help because people nowadays, you can talk to anybody anywhere in the world and you don't know what you're getting,
Ooh, yes. I've experienced that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of having being really clear of here's the type of law I practice, here's who I am, here's how I do it, here's some other people that are going through the same problems, here's how I've helped. Let's talk and see if we're a good fit is a great way that we like to set up websites.
So it's my understanding to help gain your ranking, there is kind of this order, the 11 best forms of content. Can you elaborate on that?
Of course, of course. So I won't go through all of them, but there are a few that we have seen have the best results, get kind of the best ranking for your site. So one of them that I love more than anything and that we've seen amazing results with are FAQs. So FAQs, if you really think about how people even search for when they Google things on the internet, a lot of times they're asking it in the form of a question. I got bit by a dog. Do I need an attorney? I got rear-ended. Do I need legal help? A lot of times they are questions, right? Like, so FAQs and having as many kind of FAQs on your website, answering those questions that relate to your firm, that relate to whatever your practice area is a great way to lead people back to and give you a good ranking from Google.
And what's a good way to format that? Because I it's a good idea. Like is it like question and then right below it, it's
Actual
an
answer,
and
yes.
How long should an answer be?
A couple hundred words, probably. I wouldn't go too into depth. You don't want to give them too much that they don't need to hire you. You give them enough to form that trust and that
Sure.
that you can show that you know what you're talking about. And then, engage them to contact you so that you know more. As you're growing and building your website, you can start with kind of one FAQ page. And then as you grow, have an FAQ page for each one of your practice areas. And then even like sub-practice areas, if it's personal injury as a whole, and then it can be for trucking accidents, for dog bite, for, bicycle accidents, whatever it is. And keep expanding on that. And one little trick with FAQs that you can do is put yourself in the shoes of the end user or the potential client and get on and Google it yourself, right? So get on and Google, I've been bit by a dog. Do I need an attorney? And then kind of scroll through, see what other firms and stuff are writing about with that to kind of engage and get your mind flowing. But one of my little secrets is if you go to the bottom of that very first page of Google, once you've put in that question, Google will actually give you it. It says people also search for. And then they will actually list 5 or 6 questions that are very similar or that are related. But Google is telling you, hey, these are the things that people are actually searching for related to that exact same question that have very high search volume. So
answer those questions.
Answer those questions on your site.
Yeah.
See what those questions are. Make those your new FAQ on your site. So Google gives you that little insider tip.
That's a good.
And just go answer it yourself on your own site.
Does it matter if it's words, written word, or video? Is there more power in one or the other? Or can you have both?
It's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B on that. So both is always better. I don't think one is stronger than the other. If you were going to start with one, start with content first and then video. But if you are going to do video, which video is another one of the kind of 11 best forms of content that you can do, is first off, be sure you're putting it on YouTube. Do not just put a video directly on your website, put it on YouTube. Make sure it's transcribed so that Google can actually read the words that are on it. It's not just your voice. You get a little extra boost on content and keyword with that too. And then, embed the YouTube videos into your site. So, because, Google owns YouTube. So it's all a myriad of things. So make sure that if you're doing those videos, you're putting them on YouTube first and getting them transcribed.
It's funny because I was just thinking I like video, and I always think video is going to be better,
Sure.
but it's one of the 11 forms of content.
Yeah,
so
they
it
all
works out.
They all go hand in hand, you know. Another one that I love that I just kind of want to call it that we've just seen really good results with, and it kind of goes along with our conversion funnel for getting people to just be active on your website, want to stay on your site, want to click through, are quizzes. So quizzes do really, really well.
Really?
Yes, especially for personal injury.
So
Yeah.
give us a quick little example of how a
course.
quiz would be set up for a PI attorney.
Sure. So, having it kind of right at the top of your site, and it's just a button that's, does my case qualify? Take our 5-minute quiz or our 5-step quiz.
Wow.
Yes, that has a really, really high conversion rate of people wanting to get on it because they're like, hey, I guess these are the questions they're going to ask me. I can go ahead and kind of answer it, see if I have a case before I even call. And then you just get on and depending on the firm or whatever the practice area is, kind of asking those questions and getting them to a point where it can, it will help the end user know, hey, I do have, a case that I can talk to somebody about, I can talk further, or, know it, I don't qualify. And so they've kind of got that answer there.
I mean, that's super clever. I'm trying to think of any website. I don't know that I've ever seen quizzes.
Yeah, I can send you a few.
Yes. No,
So you can see.
I would think it's super brilliant.
It's been very, very helpful just for conversion rates.
For both sides.
For both sides.
The lawyer is not wasting his time on something
1000%.
that's totally not going to be a case.
Yep.
The person is going to right away find out, this is nothing real, nothing
Like one of the
I have to do
questions
here.
is, if you were in an accident, when were you in an accident in the last 6 months to a year? Or sometimes like that will phase them out. Hey, if it was 4 years ago, we can't take the case on.
Right.
If it was, and that's, you have your programming on your quiz on that back end where it's, the answer yes, here's the outcome. The answer no, here's the outcome.
Part of that funnel.
Part of that
Part of the funnel.
Part of that funnel. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a little
Clever.
insider info. It's been doing really well. Yeah.
Don't give away
Yeah,
the
don't
trick.
give away everything.
Only Broward County gets it.
I love it. No, I really do.
Yeah. So that's honestly some of the best forms of content that we've seen. Obviously, having consistent blogs on there is very helpful. It just shows that you're relevant. Just don't overstuff. I think the biggest thing with this misconception is just the more content I have, the better, right? It's not the case. It's more
Overwhelm
relevant.
them. It's like overwhelm them
Right.
with information.
Right. It just needs to be relevant content. That is what Google loves. Doesn't, there's a lot of times people are just like, I'm putting out hundreds and thousands of words of content, but they're not actually writing to what they do, or they're not putting the right keywords in it. They're not putting location-based things in their content. So it's not just it's definitely quality over quantity on your
I
content.
kind of word it as it's good, relevant content on a consistent
on a
basis.
consistent basis. Yeah,
I think if you kind of follow those, that will cover most of what you
I agree.
need.
Wow. Any other 11 best forms of content that you want to hit?
Oh, honestly, I'm like, we kind of touched on blogs, and quizzes and FAQs are by far my favorite. If you can do podcasts are great as well, as long as
Okay.
they're transcribed, like I said. So
I got to go back and
You've
double
gotta
check.
you've gotta
online to see,
transcribe
were they
everything.
Transcribe?
yes, for sure. And then pushing out all of your content to your social media and things like that, making sure that you're active kind of across the board on all your marketing platforms.
But also too, it's making sure that social media stuff that you're putting out is talking to your website.
Right.
We see a lot of people that are really good on social media, but that Instagram account or that Facebook or that LinkedIn doesn't house that on their website. So
it doesn't link back to the
doesn't link
website.
back to the actual website, which goes to your conversion funnel, which then turns into your phone
Right.
calls.
All marketing roads lead back to your website. At the end of the day, everything leads back to your website.
It really does. And truthfully, like going through this list of stuff, usually I thought website.
Right.
Just put up what you do.
Sure.
Let people connect with you somehow. For us, it's, register for event. For a lawyer, it's like contact us.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so much that goes into leading someone down the path to hopefully contacting you
Yes.
and getting them as a client.
Right.
That's
right.
the end goal, right? The end goal is how do I talk to more people? Or if maybe that's not part of your practice, maybe you're like, I have enough business.
Right.
Then am I talking to the right type of people?
Right.
And your website can help you do that.
This is amazing. I would highly recommend any of our members to reach out to you and see
Yes.
about setting up their website. You want to tell them how to contact you.
Absolutely. So you can just go to lawfirmsites.com, or you were welcome to email me directly or Dirk directly. I'm Joe, just J-O, at lawfirmsites.com, and Dirk is Dirk at lawfirmsites.com.
DIRK.
Yeah. DIRK.
I believe it or not, I get
Yeah.
to spell that a lot. So,
Really?
Yeah, all the time. There's a bunch of different ways to spell Dirk, apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well, thanks for coming, and
Yes.
I hope you stay warm the next couple days when you get
Oh,
back to Utah.
I'm going to hold on to the next couple days. Yeah, the heat down here.